Really the most important things about being a barista are, providing great customer service and keeping the place clean. I think when people think about, just over and over pouring lattes with beautiful latte art, they tend to forget that you have to also sweep the floor and do all the dishes. Just sort of being willing to do whatever it takes to get the shop open, get the shop running. Sometimes the espresso machine craps out at the end of a shift and you have to go in and fix it until 2 in the morning, and it sucks, but you need the espresso machine to be working by the next morning. So I actually had a friend named Ashley who always used to say that she wanted to call me Coffee Shop Ron because I'm a pretty outgoing guy. So eventually I actually got a job at the coffee shop, and I knew nothing about coffee at this time. I drank a ton of coffee, but I drank it with a huge amount of cream and sugar and knew nothing about anything about specialty coffee or what even black coffee tasted like, really. So I got there and I started learning slowly about coffee and was working really hard. I got made full-time within a couple weeks, and then about 3 months after that I became the manager. It was probably the first time that anyone had given me more responsibility than I was hired with in about 10 years. So that felt pretty good. At one point I found an old Barista magazine subscription under the counter, and people had drawn little handlebar mustaches on the people on the covers and stuff, and I just took it home and I started reading it and realized that there was a whole world of people who were into coffee in a way that I had never even considered that you could be into coffee, and it fascinated me. 3 back and forths, and I'm doing back and forth because if you stir in a round clockwise motion, it's going to keep those grounds moving a lot. And at this point, we just want to make sure that everything's steeping right. So we got about 45 seconds left. And then we're looking for a nice dome-shaped thing of grinds. That's when you know that you got a nice even extraction. If it's totally flat, not great. So we're looking for the dome, and we got it. So I grew up in a really small town called Petersburg, New York. As I was telling someone earlier, we don't have a stoplight, we don't have a sidewalk, we have one pizza place. As I was growing up, I did a lot of hiking, fishing, stuff like that, playing outside. I quickly grew to hate it. At 14, I joined a punk band and started teaching snowboarding and felt, further different from everyone at my high school. Lived in Albany for about the past 12 years. Did some traveling when I was 19. I, kind of squatter punk traveled around the Northeast, hitchhiked and slept under bridges and all that kind of stuff. I got really heavily involved in drugs and alcohol during that time, and that stuck through when I moved back to Albany. When I was 23, I got sober. Right after I got sober is when I started getting into coffee. People say find a job that you love and you'll never work a day in your life, and it is not true. It's not true. I love making coffee. I love making coffee for people who maybe haven't learned a lot about it, and seeing the lights come on and having that aha moment when they taste something they really love. That feeling does not matter when it's 1 in the morning and you're elbow deep in an espresso machine and you can't figure out what's wrong with it. Or when you've worked, 17 days in a row and it's 9 o'clock and you're sweeping the floor and you're wondering why you're doing this, thinking I'm a great barista. It's 9 o'clock 9 o'clock at night, and I'm sweeping the floor and I'm not making any money doing it. You're working without a doubt. No matter how much you love kind of the general subject matter, you're working, but it's that passion for doing something for yourself and doing something that you believe in that makes you slog through all those moments to have the moments where you do get the aha moments, or see the lights come on in someone for the first time, and those make it worth it.